Yes, just. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for being here. And I will start my welcome address with this picture. You know what it is? This is the new website of the International Federation. And hopefully everybody has seen it. And those who not, I would like to recommend you to go online and to see our webpage, because that's a very website, contains a lot of very important information. And the most important thing that this federation is a federation of societies. And I think that there are no hand surgical societies in the world who are not member of this federation. 59 members from almost 56 countries are part of our big community, and if you go on the website, you can see a short description of all these societies. Now, I don't list all the 59, but as you see in alphabetical order, these societies, you can have a short historical background of all societies. You have some time, you are more than welcome to see what are the specifics of these societies. What was the birth date of the International Federation? That's 1966, a long time ago. And its chief purposes, when they were put down then, were not changed. I could not read all these chief purposes, but has no sense. The only sense is that the International Federation, the officers of the International Federations have one single role: to promote hand surgery all around the world, to promote knowledge of hand surgery, to help hand surgeons to meet each other, to learn from each other, and to promote geographically disadvantaged countries and societies to have the same level of knowledge as those ones who have this chance to be in a geographically and economically more favorized part of the world. The current officers of the IFSSH, these are brave soldiers. They're my friends. We are working together. We started this morning and we don't stop. Really, we would like to make a federation to run better and having bigger chance to reach you, because the federation has something which is very important, kind of history. And I would like to, when we speak about the officers of the International Federation, to remember you that one of our past presidents, Giorgio Brunelli, who passed away last September 29, I would like now to ask you to remember him for a few seconds. Thank you very much, and I think that Giorgio now is here with us. What is IFSSH doing, and how we can spread a little bit knowledge and communication, and how we can communicate with you? Of course, one of the most wonderful tools is the e-sign of the International Federation, which is free of charge. It's available for everybody who wants it. And this is a wonderful dream of Ulrich Mann, and one of the past presidents of the IFSSH. And when in 2011 he edited the first issue, we were a little bit skeptic. We didn't know if it will work. And thanks to him and his devotion, his hard work, yes, it's working. And it's spreading knowledge and it's spreading information all around the community of hand surgeons all around the world. And another very important task of the International Federation, to thank to those people who have devoted their lifetime to serve, to humble serve the hand surgery, to serve hand surgeons and patients, and they had one goal in their life: to have a better outcome for their patients. And when we see this picture, we know that in '86, first time pioneers of hand surgery were awarded. And since then, each Congress of the International Federation starts with the Pioneer Awards. And in this year, a little bit later, we will have the ceremony of Pioneer Awards, where 37 pioneers from 19 societies of the International Federation will be awarded with this title. And of course, another very important task are the congresses, because congresses give us the possibility to teach, to learn, and to make friends, and to communicate, and to exchange our experience, and to plan new courses, to plan new teaching events, and to plan new activities of the International Federation. And as you see, there were, till now, 13 congresses. And we started with smaller, simple congresses, and from 3 year to 3 year, the congresses are bigger, have higher attendance, and have bigger success, and bigger interest is raised on that. So finally, we arrived here after the 13th Congress. Now we have it here, the 14th, in Berlin. And this Congress is unique from different points of view. One is that this is the biggest ever hand surgery event in the history. More than 3,500 participants from 93 countries are here, And I think that the number is even now growing because of the online registration, because people are interested. And of course, there's a big thank not only to the hand surgeons, but to the hand therapists and to our colleagues who are not hand surgeons, not hand therapists, but they are interested in hand surgery. The current officers of the IFSSH have worked hard to make our federation better. And then, after 3 years of work, now we arrive to the end of our term. And this team here, you see, ended. And because their work, and because our very good relation to FESSH, and because that I think that in the last years we had really improved our relations, this is the first Congress of the IFSSH which is shared with another big federation, and this is the European Federation for Societies of Surgery of the Hand. At the end of a triennial period, we have to make a final balance. And I think that if I have to conclude in only 2 minutes what we achieved in these 3 years, we can say that we have a safe and legally running federation. We have good and safe and improving finances. I think that the federation had, and the officers of the federation worked to have and achieve their main goal to help and support people who would like to learn hand surgery. I think that the federation in these 3 years made more friends than enemies, and that's a big thing. And this is the first combined Congress, and now we are here, and we can be very, very happy because an amazing number of more than 3,500 people are here, and they would like to share their knowledge and their friendship with us. Of course, after a period when you say the good things, you have to say something which could or should be done better or differently. I think that there are a lot of things to improve for the future generation, for the future executive committee, for the future officers of IFSSH. There are a lot of things to achieve and to make it better. One is the active participation of the delegates and the societies, because you have to know that the federation is as strong as the delegates, as the member societies are strong, and their activity is strong. I think that we have money now. We have to spend it for education, but we want to spend it in the right way, in accordance with the will of the majority of the federation. And for this, we need the active participation of the delegates. I think that we don't want to be a club of old, rich hand surgeons who are spending their time just speaking about their hobbies. But really, we are a federation where we want to teach, which is open for young generation, and the involvement of young hand surgeons should be higher in the future. I think that we have to work to have financially affordable congresses, where science is almost for free. I don't speak about social programs. I don't speak about fancy banquets. They are nice. We like them. But I think that attendance to knowledge, attendance to hand surgery should be affordable for every young surgeon, even from a very disadvantageous, geographically and economically disadvantaged country. And I think that there is an eternal task for the future EXCO is to improve transparency in all fields of the activity of the International Federation. All these things listed here were possible, are possible, and will be possible only with your active participation. And I would like to thank you for your participation. I would like to thank you that you are here. And now, at the end of my speech, this is my last slide, I would like to thank again for the sponsors, for the industry, but first of all for the organizers of this fantastic Congress. Hopefully it will be not only from the point of view of the number of participants, but the scientific level, the attendance of the scientific sessions. And I would like to ask you to give a great applause to the organizers. Thank you very much. I know that the best speech is a short speech, so that was my presidential address. And now I would like to invite Anne Vaillant, who is the president of the International Federation of Societies of Hand Therapy. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's just wonderful to be here. When I think of all of the effort that has gone into this, and in particular I remember our closing ceremony in 2016 in Buenos Aires when the Berlin team stood on the stage with those fabulous t-shirts and were so excited about the opportunities that they were going to provide us with this conference, and I can see that those activities will certainly be fulfilled. But it's an honour to stand in front of you, and in fact I'd support all of the words of Zolt Sabo and suggest that IFSHT has many of the same drives. And you know, this idea of building bridges that we could expand on in so many areas between junior therapists and our more experienced therapists, between clinical research and evidence-based practice. And I know when we come to these conferences and we walk away with a couple of tricks and skills, it makes such a difference to those we go home to, those who can't come and join us. I think we all need to make an effort to share our knowledge. But the other thing that we do as IFSHT is really support those developing therapists from developing countries. And we try and go and teach in places where we can provide support, or in fact pay for some of these therapists to come and join us. I guess the big thing we're doing this year for the first time is really celebrating our 30th anniversary of having joint sessions with IFSSH, and I think this is a huge achievement, and I'll talk more about that tomorrow. But I would also like to say that we are, for the first time, presenting Lifetime Achievement Awards to acknowledge those therapists who've been integral in motivating us junior therapists to follow in their footsteps and become experts, whether it be through research, teaching, volunteering in third world countries. They've all taught us so much. So tomorrow at the opening ceremony of IFSHT, we'll go into that in a little bit more detail. But I'd like to welcome you all, and thanks again to the organising committee and to IFSSH for working with us in bringing together a fabulous program. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear hand therapists, dear hand surgeons, as one of altogether 3 Congress presidents, as well as being the president of the German Society of Hand Surgery, I would now like to extend to you a most hearty welcome to Berlin, the capital of Germany. Since Sabo, as president of the IFSH, and Anna Wagen, as the president of the IFSHT, have just delivered their messages in their presidential address and lecture, I would like to take the opportunity to give you a brief history of why this Congress ended up here. In 2013, when South Korea hosted the Congress, Argentina, that had already applied for the 3rd time, now won against us being our 1st time. It was then that the group of Hermann Krimmer, Max Herle, Jörg van Schoonhoven and myself, as primary initiators, joined efforts to finally bring this Congress from India to Berlin. And we have come up with something altogether new. For the first time, we have been able to bring together 6 societies dealing with the hand into a World Congress of Hand Surgery. These are the IFSH, the IFSHT, the FESSH, the EFSHT, the European Therapists, and the German Therapist and the German Society of Hand Surgery. The motto is building bridges hand in hand. The next speakers will be the Congress presidents, Natascha Weiss and Beate Jung from the German Society for Hand Therapy, followed by the co-president, Professor Max Herle, who is in charge of the scientific program, and the co-president, Professor van Schoonhoven, whose topic is industrial acquisition. This will be followed by the official opening of this World Congress by the president and also members of the Berlin Philharmonic playing Dvorak American Quartet. Then comes the honoring of the new pioneers and hand surgeon. And then you will hear me again.
On behalf of the German Society for Hand Therapy, we'd like to give our warm welcome to all of you, surgeons and therapists, from all over the world to our international conference here in Berlin. Building bridges. As a result of a close and lively cooperation with societies worldwide, it has become reality. Our thanks go especially to the German Society of Hand Surgery for our close and growing interaction over the past years.
As co co-chairs of the Therapist Scientific Program, and I also have to name Dorit Aaron at this place. We would like to join the previous speakers in welcoming you to the combined Triennial Hand Conference in Berlin. We would like to thank all involved boards and committees for the tremendous work over the last 3 years, as well as our session chairs, session organizers, workshop presenters, and speakers. In particular, we would like to thank Anne Waitchen from IFSHT, Dorit Aaron, Scientific Co-Chair, and Lisa O'Brien, Chair of the Abstract Review Committee, for the close collaboration and professional support. Only a joint effort can make a global event like this possible. Building bridges, let's meet in this spirit and connect to surgeons and therapists from all continents. We wish us all a successful and inspiring conference.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Berlin to all of you. When we, with a small group of the German Society, started 10 years ago to run for this IFSSH meeting, we were not really aware of what we were doing. Once we won the application, we realized that perhaps it would be an issue to host several international meetings in the same area in the same year. Therefore, we launched the idea to combine the German meeting with the European meeting and the international meeting. To me, still today, this is the way to go. But I was probably blinded by some naivety, not seeing the problems coming. At a certain point, I felt in the situation like Berlin was for many years, occupied by different contradictory militant forces, not being really willing to solve the problem. So it is probably not for a chance that this meeting is in Berlin, where a very famous person once came to encourage us and said, 2,000 years ago, the proudest boast was to be a Roman citizen. Today, in a world of freedom, the proudest boast is to say, Ich bin ein Berliner, which was John F. Kennedy in '63. And animated by this spirit, we were finally able to break down walls and build some bridges, and it was thanks to the help of the officers and councils of IFSSH and FESSH that we are here today at this meeting with the 6 societies all together in the same place. Thank you, Dr. Szabo, thank you, Dr. Nagel, and thank you, Dr. Kalkani, for this. Going on in the organization, the next question was, who of the 3 of us would take over the job as a program chair? Again, I didn't really know what I was doing when I took that mission. It was a wonderful adventure, and I have learned a lot, and I wouldn't like to miss that, but I would never do it again. We have received more than 1,800 abstracts, which we have reviewed with 242 reviewers. We have then formed 27 subgroups and distributed the work in between 45 subgroup leaders from Germany, which have been associated to 27 international experts to build together that program. The program at the end contains 1,123 free papers, more than 350 invited lectures, and 347 chairpersons. At the time of bidding for IFSSH, having 1,000 participants was a good goal and would mean to have a real success. So today we are at about 3,800 participants, and I think this is a great honor, and thank you for coming. Some will say, oh, there are too many free papers. Some will say, oh, that's too much nerve. Oh, that's too much radius. So I can tell you it was not easy to get an equilibrium to a high-level program. Equilibrium in this field is anyway difficult. Equilibrium between the continents, equilibrium between more senior and more younger surgeons, equilibrium between congenital, microsurgery, arthroscopy, trauma, osteoarthritis, and what all the rest is not easily made. Therefore, I want to apologize for not being talented enough to get these equilibriums to everybody's satisfaction. I want to apologize for those who have not been included and feel forgotten. Please do not feel forgotten. but blame me for not being able to build these things correctly together. On the other hand, I wish the next friend in London good luck for the same issue. So now I was talking only about the surgical program, but in parallel to that, we can be only proud of the same and great effort of our colleagues therapists, which have independently built together such a great program, and also they have the greatest number of attendees we have seen so far. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you here, all the people who have contributed to both these programs, together the German and the international experts coming from all over the world, being willing to build bridges and bring our hand surgery to the next level. Intercongress and Dennis Schuler, who has worked with me for the last month more than we both have ever thought, dreamed in our lives. She has done a real great job, and her team has done a great job. Thank you, Denise. Thank you to Intercongress. But even more, I want to thank you all for coming, being here, making this is what it will be, our very big hand surgery event in 2092. I wish you all a successful Congress, and I'm convinced that the famous Berlin climate, the Berliner Luft, will help us to overcome walls and build bridges. Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, guests, friends, it is a great honor for me to welcome you all today to our Triennial Congress with the motto, Building Bridges, Together, Hand in Hand. Let me start my short speech with a quote from the Belgian Dominican friar, Dominique Pierre, who said, "Men build too many walls and not enough bridges." He received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1958 for helping refugees in Europe during the years after World War II. Building bridges is as important today as it was then. As hand therapists and hand surgeons, you all know the importance of joining hands and building bridges. We meet here in Berlin to exchange our experience, to learn and discuss, with the aim to achieve the best possible care for our patients. Working hand in hand together between surgeons and therapists in hand surgery is a prerequisite to achieve this aim. Fortunately, in this respect, it was not necessary to build new bridges during the organizing process of this Congress, as the cooperation between hand surgeons and therapists has been well established for many years in Germany, and we could easily use existing pathways on a strong bridge. I can only invite all of you to walk on this bridge and have a look into the program of the other profession, as it is close by. At this point, we really have to thank the two Therapist Congress presidents, Natascha Weiss and Beate Jung, for their tremendous work to make this Congress a success, and thank you for all your help. Thank you. A bridge that has been easier to build than I had expected was the one between the industry and our Congress and its surgical side. Their interest to present and merchandise their products complements our interest for funding this Congress. Thanks to the great interest of the industry and the resulting constructive hand-in-hand cooperation, we were able to keep the Congress fees at the same level as 3 years ago. It additionally enabled us to offer significant reductions for hand surgeons and therapists in training. This made it possible to build bridges for many young people that otherwise would not have been able to join this Congress. Therefore, I want to thank all of the participating companies for their tremendous support. Within an interesting widespread scientific program, we have tried to build bridges to organizations, groups, and subjects that have not been involved in this Congress before. For the first time, we introduce a forum dedicated to and organized by young hand surgeons, where they can exchange their specific challenges and experiences. Additionally, we will have a session on hand surgery in difficult conditions involving several humanitarian aid organizations. and I am looking especially forward to attend these events. As one of the Congress presidents, I am happy that we have tried to build bridges not only within the scientific program, but between traditional and innovative Congress formats as well. Next to the additional educational day that run today, with more than 790 participants, we have made changes to the social events during the Congress as well. Instead of having a traditional presidential dinner on Tuesday, we have organized a party in a club, allowing all therapists and surgeons to build more bridges, meet, connect, and enjoy each other's company. As another novelty, we provide a live stream of selected sessions for all interested who could not make it to Berlin. Future digitization, with all its potential to improve our skills and options, will be a subject in several sessions during this Congress. However, I do not believe that a digital event can replace a traditional Congress, especially this international Congress. A dialogue on the internet can never replace face-to-face. Online, it is possible to remain anonymous or to simply switch off a discussion. In real life, this is not an option. Therefore, I do thank all of you, participants, presenters, specialists, chairmen, from all around the world for personally joining us and taking the opportunity to honestly exchange opinions and experience. I can only encourage you to a multifaceted debate that would never be possible in a digital environment, and I am absolutely convinced that this is and remains a prerequisite for further improvement of our therapeutic options and the sake of our patients. With this in mind, I do wish all of you an inspiring Congress and enjoyable days. Thank you very much. Now, I want to ask the presidents of all participant organizations to the stage to officially open the Congress together. Hands in hand, we will unveil a symbolic bridge that shall guide us during the next few days. May I now introduce to you the President of the IFSSH again, Rolf Sabo, and the Secretary General, Dan Egler, and the Secretary General-elect, Guyan Beg, to perform one of the most important things of this opening ceremony, the honoring of our pioneers. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Jörg. It's a great honor to be here. This will be brief because we have to get to honor our pioneers. So every 3 years, the International Federation of Societies for Surgery of the Hand solicits nominations for individuals who are considered by their peers as being pioneers in the field of hand surgery. These individuals must be 70 years of age and must have made significant contributions to hand surgery nationally and internationally. The individuals gathered here today to be recognized as pioneers have distinguished themselves through their extraordinary clinical, educational, and leadership contributions to the art and science of hand surgery. It's a great honor to recognize these 37 who have so significantly impacted on the world of hand surgery. While this ceremony will be brief, what these people have done for us, for our patients, for the world, will last for many, many generations. And for that, we thank them very much. So we'll start. The recipients will be asked to come to the stage, escorted by the young hand surgeons of the German Society of the Hand, and the recipients will receive their certificate from Dr. Szabo and from Dr. William Beck, who will help with that as well. And so we'll start with the American Society for Surgery of the Hand. We have 7 pioneers. The first is Robert Chase. Robert, unfortunately, Robert could not be here, Dr. Chase could not be here, but James Chang, past president of the American Society of Surgery of the Hand, will accept in his stead. Next is William Cooney. Dr. Cooney, unfortunately, could not be here today, and Dr. Scott Levin, the current president of the American Society for Surgery of the Hand, will accept in his place. Dr. Richard Gelberman is our next pioneer from the United States. And he will be followed by Dr. Jesse Jupiter. Try not to have a traffic jam up here. Next is Peter Stern. Following Peter is Dr. Upton, Joseph Upton of Boston. You may be wondering why we don't have more to say, but we wanted to actually get through the entire Congress. We'd be here too long. So these people have done so much, but we're trying to keep it short. Next is Dr. Andrew Weiland. Now from the Brazilian Society for Surgery of the Hand, we have Claudio Barbieri. Also from the Brazilian Society, Dr. Caetano cannot be here with us, but Dr. Samuel Reback, Secretary of the Brazilian Society, will accept in his stead. Next, from the British Society of Surgery of the Hand is Peter Burge. Peter will be followed by Jeffrey Hooper. The Colombian Association for Surgery of the Hand has nominated 4 pioneers. Unfortunately, 2 have passed on, but their sons are here. Dr. Quaifman is represented today by his son, Bernardo Quaifman. Dr. Gersten Bruns also unfortunately cannot be with us, but his son is here, Dr. Juan Bernardo Gerstner Garces. Dr. Melendez Escobar is here from Colombia, and he is our next pioneer. He will also accept on behalf of Dr. Restrepo Espinal, who could not be with us today. The Dutch Society has nominated Johan Kauer. That's very good. The Egyptian Society has nominated Nash Nam. Shortly, we'll be receiving the French Society for Surgery of the Hand nominees. The first is Alain Gilbert. Next is Dr. Alain Masquelet. Next, the Hellenic Society for Surgery of the Hand has nominated Alexandros Beris. The Indian Society for Surgery of the Hand has nominated Dr. Balakrishnan. Next, the Japanese Society for Surgery of the Hand has nominated two pioneers. The first is Dr. Kazuteru Doi. And his colleague, Akeo Minami. The Korean Society for Surgery of the Hand has nominated Dr. Kwang Suk Lee. Dr. Lee cannot be here with us today, but Dr. Jong Wong Park, a member of the Korean Society Board, is here in his stead. The Romanian Society for Surgery of the Hand has nominated Irina Visha. Unfortunately, Dr. Visha can't be here, but Dr. Alexandru Georgescu, who you all know, is here with us. The Singapore Society for Surgery of the Hand has recommended Dr. Teo. Unfortunately, Dr. Teo can't be here today, but Dr. Jacqueline Tan, president of the Singapore Society, is here in his stead. Thank you, Dr. Tan. The South African Society for Surgery of the Hand has recommended Dr. Ulrich Mennen to be recognized as a pioneer. The Swedish Society for Surgery of the Hand has recommended Carl Goran Haggert. You're getting fired up now. The Swiss Society for Surgery of the Hand has recommended Diego Fernandez. The Taiwan Society for Surgery of the Hand has recommended three candidates. One is Dr. Chuang, the other is Dr. Yi Lu, who has passed away, and of course, Dr. Fu-Chan Wei. Unfortunately, they can't be here. Dr. Professor Yi-Tae Lin, past president of the Taiwan Society, is going to accept in their stead. So thank you. So the Turkish Hand Society has recommended 3 pioneers as well. Dr. Ismail Çale, Dr. Ahmet Karuz as well. First, Dr. Çale. Next is Dr. Karauz. I apologize for my Turkish. And accepting for Dr. Palatskan is Dr. Çale. The Venezuelan Society for Surgery of the Hand and Upper Limb Reconstruction has recommended 2 pioneers. The first is Dr. Socorro Medina. And the second and last pioneer for today is Dr. Torrealba Marin. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and applaud for our pioneers.
Ladies and gentlemen, I promise to come back. Here come some annotations for today's program. We will first show you a 3-dimensional movie that presents a variety of aspects of life here in Germany's kaleidoscope. Your ears will then enjoy the sounds of the Berlin Philharmonic with Paul Linke's unforgotten Berliner Luft, named in English The Air in Berlin. The Philharmonic people are Peter Brehm, violin, Brigitte Brehm, violin, Gunhild Hölscher, viola, and Johannes Sapotozzi, cello. And then either side will lead you to the opening buffet, or you simply follow me then. There you will be entertained by an IFSSH world sensation. I will talk about that later. Around 9:30, the exhibition hall will close, but only the exhibition hall. And then the party will start, including of some attractions. Jana with the violin and the art of mouse. Have some wonderful talks among friends, and now press start the movie. So, please follow the women from Intercongress to the buffet.